Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's game 2 of the finals. Hi Five took game 1 over Yomi. It was a close one in the end. Hi Five got that first fire, and they got that gold fear, they got a pick, they got that fire giant. That was just kind of like the crumbling point where Yomi just weren't able to really get themselves back into this. Game 2, they need to win this one though if they want to keep their hopes at a first place finish alive.
Important. If they want to win this one and get 100 Challenger Cup points, 100 Challenger Cup points, where would that jump them up the list right about now? That'd throw them to 150. That's currently just 20 behind where Hi Five and Resist are sitting before applying today's points. Noble Esports, where did they finish today? Noble finished out in round of 8, so Noble will be walking away with 10 points. They'd be in front of Noble Esports. That would just about guarantee them a spot in the top 8, if it hasn't already.
Yeah, there's a few teams locking in the first, top 8 finishes, which is great. The real prize is that inevitable end finish. There's some cash prize on the line, though. You want to make sure you're getting to the group stage initially, but then further on, this weekly gem prize, it's not just because, well, you're fighting for seeding points. There's gems. Who doesn't love gems? Summer of Smites promotions and sales and all these things. There's stuff to buy in game, and who doesn't, the little Buzzy Bee, I forget the exact name of it, Cupid, with the built-in camouflage on his ultimate that I imagine is going to get nerfed in the near future because the flowers are taller than Cupid is kind of silly. But it's cute. Sometimes you have your little devil pajamas, sometimes you have your Buzzy Bee pajamas. I've got to switch it up every now and again.
Oh. And I'm an Australian, right? I'm sitting over here in the middle of winter, whilst the rest of the world is, Northern Hemisphere. You guys are all in the middle of summer, and you guys are doing the Summer of Smite, and we're the hot ones. We're the ones that are known for our hot, heated weather, heated engages, and brawly, sort of fighty North American-style Smite. I got no gems. I'm broke. I can't buy any Summer of Smite stuff. Anyway, P's and B's. Athena and Balloon are going to be banned out from Yomi. Neath, Sylvanas coming through from Hi Five, and then straight into the draft.
Yep, a couple of those locked in ready. Geb, Isis, Serqet locked in for Hi Five. Yomi, Xbalanque, Batz, they're still deliberating on what will be their third pick and final pick before counterbanning phase as JAnus gets locked in. Haven't seen him too much so far today. And, will we see? No! My question was going to be, will we see a Scylla ban coming out? Take that out of the hands of Vulture. We could see...
He'll take this.
I got confused. That's not a Scylla ban. That's not a Scylla ban. I was talking about it in my mind. Wires got crossed. It's a Medusa ban. The Medusa ban. It's correct now. No one saw a thing.
He'll take it. Oh, no, wait. Isis is already on the board. That means that we're not going to see bolts. There's no need to ban out Scylla when Isis is on the table.
Yeah, no. You're right. You're right. Absolutely right. Sometimes I don't pay attention to what's going on. They're reversed. It's confusing. There's stuff going on. Yeah, Isis on the table, so not like to see a Scylla. Isis, right. I don't see Mage soloing Isis or Scylla by Vulture. So, that said... lost my train of thought. Medusa banned out by Yomi. Xbalanque banned out by Hi Five, keeping that one out of the hands of Woo Woo, also now known as Kateki. We were talking about this a little bit last game. Ares getting locked in.
And this is an Australian scene favorite pick. Aussies and New Zealanders and anyone else considered underneath the rung of the Oceanic region love to play Ares. So I've seen a heck of a lot of play from him. The damage he can put out in lane, it's absolutely insane. The one-on-one kill pressure that he has is highest of all the supports. The only one in a similar position as Ymir, right? But the sustained damage of an Ares, it is just so high. And at the same time, he makes his team so tanky. Love this pickup.
Yeah, it's... Ooh, Double Guardian picked up on the side of Yomi for this hope. Hi Five. They're backwards, guys. I do apologize. They're reversing the clients. The red team is on the blue side, and the blue team is on the red side. It's confusing, makes my mind not want to work, and the best times my mind barely works to begin with. So when things, when I'm throwing a wrench and everything gets all confusing, it just gets that much worse. It's a miracle I can speak sometimes, never mind sort out the client being clienty. Xbalanque, Sobek getting locked in. Apollo getting locked in as well for the final pick.
Give me Crocodile. Come on, you can give me Crocodile. He's not gonna give me Crocodile. I got my hopes up.
That's such a slap in the face. He's going for a vanilla skin Sobek. Not even the recolor. Just plain old standard fair vanilla. No skin Sobek. Just like, hi Ranconius. Smack you across the face because Australia. I don't even know why. Some reasons.
Cause Straya.
So yeah, those are the team comps rounded out. Those are in theory correct. The score was backwards. All sorts of stuff goes crazy with Smite Client when it decides that the blue team is on the right side and is the red team, but it's not the red team because it's the blue team, and they're actually on the right side, which means on the bottom side of your spectator UI, defending the Titan of Order and all that fun stuff. And if that made any sense and you understood any of that, you're in a better position than I am trying to figure out what the hell the client is doing half the time. So yeah, team comps on screen are in theory correct. We have the Geb, Isis, Serqet, Sobek, Xbalanque compositions to double Guardian coming out. Serqet's going to actually add a decent bit setup to this team fight as well. A lot of mobility.
Did you put Xbalanque in instead of Apollo?
There was a Xbalanque in this game.
There's one of them.
They may be in the incorrect spots.
Non-ton for the side of Hi Five is going to be on Apollo, not Xbalanque. So if you've been listening, we were talking about Apollo. And then...
I was close, okay? I got through to the last little bit, and I just fell flat on my face.
Yeah. You know what's hilarious?
Okay, I'm serious. Look at where they're in position right now. Hi Five is on the left-hand side of the picks and ban screen. We're going to jump into the game for a second. Aren't you special?
Not for me.
They're on the picks and ban screen that everyone is currently viewing. If we switch over to the in-game camera for just a split second, they've switched. You'll notice that Hi Five, El Rechacho, Nantan, El Chapu, Groshank, and Vulture are showing on the red team right now. When we get into game, they will in fact be the blue team. My brain does not like this. It does not want to deal with this stuff. It confuses me. Scores are still apparently wrong. They were right. I don't even know what's going on anymore, guys. Vulture said the scores were wrong. I switched the scores, and I may have just put them back in the same spot. I don't know. We're cutting to a break. There's going to be music. There's an anti-ghost timer still ticking down. We're back with Game 2 of the Finals. Hi Five lead the series 1-0 in this best-of-3 matchup of the Finals for Week 4 of the North American Challenger Cup. Words are hard. Math is hard. Music should, in theory, be good, and it'll be coming up here in just a second. All right, guys. Oh, God. Production! Seriously. That was a post-game screen for the last game. That was not this game. This game is still actually in progress. We're live. We're actually at a 30-second delay or so. But whatever. It's close enough. I'm done. Seriously. I'm done. Anything that could possibly go wrong in the past 5 minutes has gone wrong. Did you know? Remember I talked about the whole team switching back and forth? I forgot to switch it again. But you'll note that Hi Five is in fact on the blue side of the screen as opposed to the whole red side which they're showing up in client. So I blame that. We have a Smite game, guys, and everything is going wrong. Things are on fire, production is on fire, the production building is burning, and they're dealing with it, but production things. Just production things.
Knock on wood. That's not really wood, but kind of plasticky stuff that looks like wood. That everything will go cleanly from here on out. Who knows? Maybe Yomi will send this to Game 3.
The amount of if we graph out the production errors as the day has gone on, we'll never actually get a third game on screen at this point. So that could be a bad thing. That said, Yomi desperately need to get these seeding points on as quick as possible because this is the second to last week. This is actually possibly the last game for Week 4 as well if Hi Five can close this game out and close the series out in a 2-0 sweep. So if they can do it, that will be the case. They'll go home first place for the, I believe, the second time so far this Challenger Cup split. Otherwise, Yomi will be holding on, taking us all the way to today's match. Let's talk about the game that's going on, though. Buffs have been cleaned up across the board as people arrive in the lane. Mid lane, Unrelinquished going to have a little bit of trouble early on. JAnus not known for a stellar wave clear against Vulture's Isis, who has probably, / arguably, the best push early game. Kentucky Spirit Ball says no, sir.
Spirit Ball, man, you don't want to eat that giant ball of stun at level like 2. That's not fun. That is not fun indeed. Alright, let's talk left-hand side of the map. Let's talk right-hand side of the map. Let's talk map in general. Everyone has taken back camps before going into buff camps. That happened. Again, these two teams consistently doing it in the grand finals. They want that XP. They want that snowball factor. Serqet, Groshank, slower to rotate out of the solo lane because El Chapu, he's a Guardian. He doesn't need as much XP. He's going to snowball fantastically off his XP based off the base stats, but that's all he's going to get. He's not going to get huge amounts of damage. He's not going to get huge amounts of, you know, in-hand damage. It's literally just health and resistances. Jilly's in a little bit of trouble over here, though. He's forced to just sit around and just take XP and not get anywhere near the backline minions. Right, that happened. But what that did, right, Grishank soaks more XP from that side. Oh, point blank Spirit Ball doesn't land from Vulture, but Grishank gets himself a bunch of XP from that lane as well before he has to rotate, and he rotates between waves, misses nothing.
Yeah.
The thing coming through from Kit Kat Key, or Woo Woo, whichever you would prefer, is that he missed just a tick of XP.
Right side, level 5, reached by Elchipoo, looking to kill onto Gilly right now. This could be a lot of damage, and it will secure it. Gilly started with that health potion multi-pot start, but both of those ticking away at the same time was still not enough to get his health bar up to safe levels. And that was with a bit of a late rotation out of that lane as well by Grishank. Speaking of which, mid lane, last breath onto Kiteki into a spear fall. About to leap away, poison ticking, not going to be quite enough. He'll be able to safely back to base on the far side of his tower. So Hi Five, small lead early on, trying to make some plays, not quite working out across the board, but nevertheless, some big potential stuff coming out from these guys. They want to make sure they're able to shut these guys down early and not let that very scary overall team comp get online. You have that Ares to worry about. You have that Xbalanque who's going to be a menace later. You have that JAnus as well, who's going to have a huge bit of burst.
Uh-oh, on Relinquish, he's going to try and contest for these mid-camps. Got silenced up. He's using it through space and time. He's going to get out of here. No, he's not. He's going to get blocked and tossed away in the opposite direction of the portal. He's running for that one as quickly as he possibly can. Won't quite find it. Matt Yankee's going to find the kill with the help of the Ares on the left-hand side of the map. So one for him, one in the stacks column as well. But both sets of mid-camps go in the way of Hi Five. So much on the map right now. Jordan, take us through it.
It's, there's a lot going on. Sorry about the little screen freeze. Apparently I'm in full screen mode right now, and I had to switch something, and things went horribly wrong. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Hi Five trying to get an early game control off. Yomi answered back with a kill in the left lane. Getting Yankee those kills is going to be a big deal. It's another one of these situations. Devour's Gauntlets up against that Heartseeker. Nantan's going back to lane. He only has the Morningstar of speed, so he's not going to be building stacks quite yet. The extra golden hand from that kill onto Met Yankee means he's going to be just a little bit further ahead. He'll get those Devour's Gauntlets at about the same time. He's not going to be too worried about the little bit of extra damage coming out. They're looking for a pick here onto Nantan. Fear No Evil's going to arrive on the wrong side of him. He's going to be able to just, he's running away further back under his tower. No kill potential there. Right lane, Gilly. Going to take a chunk of damage here. Going to use the Lawbringer defensively right now. He's having a rough time over there against that Sobek.
Yeah, he's got the Bluestone Pendant, so, that losing that early blue buff's not going to be a problem. He's going to pick up another one here in a second. But check this out. This is a Serqet. Grishank in position. He's looking for some buff steal, but it's going to be over on towards Unrelinquished, and they get the stun down. He's at least going through the portal, but the ticks are going to go off, and now did it proc over on towards Kadeki? No, it's going to be a no, but Elbow Chacho's here. This is going to be a speed buff steal. Jilly can't do anything about it, and they know that he has got no chance, and now the focus on towards Woo Woo. What can they burn through? But it might be a Grishank that loses his life.
There's some action going on over here. Grishank might fall. There's some shenanigans going on elsewhere on the map right now. Apollo did sniff them out. Will find a kill into Met Yankee. They're trying to two-man that Gold Fury, but Nantan was able to arrive and stop it. Looking for the second kill on the TV here. No escapes. Gonna come out, find the double pull, but he's about to fall as Elchipoo is coming around the backside just to make sure this kill is secured. He's trying to wiggle his way behind the minions, but the minions just like, no, dude, no. Just go, no, you're dead. Just stay there. Stay still. You're not going behind me. No little, I'm not body blocking for you, man. I'll sacrifice my life to this invade, but I'm not going to body block for you. No. So with that, Hi Five, Yomi's showing some signs of life early on, but right now it looks like Hi Five look to snuff that out as quick as possible. I like that Gold Fury call, but with no life steal online for those guys, period, it was just too much of an, actually, a little bit of life steal online. Not enough life steal online. Nantan was able to come on in and clean up a few kills.
Well, on the right-hand side of the map, rotation's coming through from Elchipoo. He's gonna zone Jilly far away from that XP, and Jilly's in a world of hurt, but at least he's on the tier, right? He's gonna be able to knock people underneath the tower. He's got that CC. He's gonna become a beastly tank CC bot. He's gonna be exactly what his team needs him to be, but he's lost a mana buff. His team also lost their speed. That went away in favor of Grishank. Picks going all across the map in favor of Hi Five. Hi Five are up. They're up a significant margin for this point in time, and they're looking for a rotation as well.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find a pick on this one. TV's gonna get caught by the shockwave and a long-range Spirit Ball from Vulture as they look to close on in. Fear No Evil drop down, spreading these guys out a little bit as they come on in. The fight's on. Grisheng low, the last breath poison ticking on TV. Does answer back that kill as Met Yankee's now caught out and will be brought down. Nantan adds another kill to that board. As now Unrelinquished 1v3, trying to clean up something, but he's going to find one. Portal away. Nantan's up in the air, looking to come back on down. Going to look for the kill. Not able to find him, though. Unrelinquished Portal came up just in time.
Just in time? Man, that was closer than just in time. He was a lick of damage away from becoming lickety split splat all over the ground. Wow, that was perfect timing. Oh, man, this game, it's a game of inches. It's a game of nail-biting millimeters and centimeters, and then all of a sudden it's a game of feet. This game, it's such an exciting game to watch. You never know what's going to come out, what these players are going to really look for. And Grisheng, he's going to leap in, he's going to get those left side harpies, but you mentioned it before in that little bit of an exchange. The shenanigans, they were looking for a two-man Gold Fury whilst the rest of the team is fighting elsewhere.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a mess right now on the map for Yomi. They have to get themselves back in this game. That last fight didn't necessarily go too badly, but they came out on the losing end of it. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. Last game, we saw Nantan have a little bit of an issue getting those stacks on that Heartseeker. This game, not quite so much. He was brought down. He did lose a few. Actually, no, he didn't get brought down with the stacks online. He was sent back to base. He picked up that Morningstar speed. Sometimes I remember what happened. At the same time, Met Yankee, 10 power from his passive, but not really running away with this game like we've seen the Xbalanque in the past few. So this is really still kind of anybody's game. Pull up that graph as well. It's a little bit of a lead for Yomi. Gold Fury is still up and available. There's objectives to take. All the towers are still standing. And, yeah, there's some potential for both these teams to really start to grab hold of this one.
Mid camps have been going in favor of Hi Five so far as Grisheng actually looks for some damage onto Key. Look at that shred between him. That's a 3-level margin for Grisheng. He is up on the Serqet. That is not something you ever want to be playing into. Man, Grisheng he's just all over this today. He's been absolutely fantastic. In the last game, he set up for Vulture perfectly on the Scylla. He was allowing him to get off the I'm a Monster ultimates, and now it's going to be on towards Unrelinquished. He's the focus this time through.
Yeah, you're talking about the setups for Vulture. Grisheng not looking to get out of here. The shackles are the bane of her existence, and she will be brought down. The setup is still there even off Serqet. Last breath onto somebody, toss them over, Vulture's waiting nearby, Spirit Ball, Wing Gust, they die. Hi Five on the back of that, a couple guys of Yomi on the right side of the map. Why not do the Gold Fury, secure that one, and secure yourselves a pretty strong lead at this point in the game, up at 3,000 gold, a decent chunk of experience as well right now. Looking down at the items, you know, nothing really key coming online quite yet. Some boots, maybe the first bits of items, but Nantan now has the Assi online. That little bit of disadvantage of any, you know, the lack of lifesteal is probably the biggest disadvantage to a Heartseeker build. When you're up against the Devourer's Gauntlets and more or less even on stacks, you can't really look for an extended trade because they'll just back off and run away. So any little incidental poke you take during wave clear is more or less permanent. With that Assi online, that is no longer the case.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see where Met Yankee goes. This is something, we mentioned it, every time we see these guys up against each other, Met Yankee just loves these Devourer's Gauntlets. He's a really, really lifesteal-focused hunter, but there's going to be an engage deep into the jungle of Yomi. The Fear No Evil's at least going to get Kateki out, or is it? Nantan was looking for the So Beautiful, didn't quite find it. He's got the Serenade at least to try and buy him some time. Can Met Yankee find something on towards Nantan? The in-hands aren't quite landing, but now the no escape. That's going to change things up with significantly. Poison darts ticking. They've got the damage. Met Yankee, another stack on towards that passive, but oh, they're going to get through it. Is the poison going to tick through Met Yankee? He's one tick away. It gets through Grisheng, and it won't pass on to anyone else as well. TV was crucial to turning that fight around, but at least Serqet's going to find another bit of something in the pocket.
Yep, over the right lane, the slap fight's still going on as well. Gilly is looking for it, actually could just about find a kill here. Second onto El Chapu. Lurking in the waters is not available. Gilly, though, all abilities on cooldown, will not have any more follow-up. Unrelinquished is on his way through space and time. The back is in vision. That's a snipe from the jungle on the board for him. Can't lazy back in vision when there's JAnus on the enemy team. Not much more you can say about that.
Yeah, that was just silly. Ra could have done the same sort of thing. Who else? Thor could have slammed down if there was a Thor in this game. Grishank could have hopped the wall and suddenly leapt onto him from nowhere if he was alive. That was just backing there. That's lazy. That is laziness and it's outright. And they're going to find a stun everyone towards Unrelinquished, trying to find something, not quite going to be able to secure it. And, well, that's something forced out. They did at least get Unrelinquished to force those beads, but not much to be able to secure it on the back of it.
That was a big play for Yomi, though. That kill was definitely the icing on the cake, but that tier 1 tower right side went down. You look at, I have the graphs up on screen right now as well. That's a little bit of a sign of life that I've been looking to see. They're not showing that. It's not like, oh, we're losing early, we're done, whatever. You know, it is what it is. You know, we'll fight. If it does, we don't find a way back in the next 2 minutes, we're just going to F6 early and just call it quits second place. They want this first place finish. Seeding is important. Everyone wants gems. Who doesn't want gems? There's cash on the line as well as the tournament continues on. You want to make sure you're as best off to going. You want to have that best position possible going forward in the group stages. The best position to find yourselves in. You know, and if not absolutely nothing else, it's more practice up against who is currently seeded first place in this Challenger Cup series. So.
And it also allows them to game their opponents next week. You know, if Hi Five win this one out and Yomi lose this, Hi Five can show up next week and play around, but TV, he's not looking to do that. He's going to look for the engage. It's going to get cataclysmed out from Elbro Chacho, and the damage from Nonton is going to come back in response as well. It's an even trade out. All right, let's talk back to that gaming of results, right? If Hi Five have already locked themselves in and they win this one, they're probably going to lock themselves down into first place. That happens, then they can game their opponents next week. They can say, hey, yes, we want to beat Noble Esports, but we want to lose to Yomi next week so that they get pushed up forward because we want to be versing them in the group stages. Maybe that's something that wants to happen. Right-hand side mid camps.
Yeah, keep spacing time. Shut off there, looking maybe for a bit of a rotation or just a little bit of a theme park ride there for Gilly to take a trip to the mid lane. He's immediately going to go back towards the right side of the map because, you know, the portal's there. May as well make use of it, so why not? Right side Harpy Camp, though, did go on over to Hi Five. They've been in control of pretty much the entire game so far. And otherwise, I mean, looking at things as they stand, is another one of these games that's going back and forth right now. It's been kind of tit for tat. Hi Five initially, the tat wasn't correct there, but Yomi eventually kind of found it, brought it into the scene, and, you know, 6-7-7 on the kill board. The Gold Fury has a little bit of a lead, some farm lead as well, but for the most part, Yomi are not letting Hi Five run away with this one yet. Gold Fury is about to respawn. If Yomi can respond and take it, they'll even things back out. But if Hi Five grab that one, they'll kind of be in front control of this game. Mid lane, blink Cataclysm over, or blink over the wall, looking for the Cataclysm, but you know, why waste it through space and time? So we can get JAnus out of this one safely. Anyway, Paulo's going for a ride. Nanton like showing off that chariot, that TSM chariot, like all the details and the chrome on the side and stuff like that. So things, you know, just showing off the good, not the goods. The vehicles. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time anymore. Grouping coming out from Yomi, picking up that attack speed buff on the left-hand side of the jungle. Gold Fury has respawned. The Vision battle, I would not be too surprised to see start up here in the very near future. That Sentry Ward just a little too far away to catch vision of that ward and actually clear it out. But as they now have vision of the Hi Five, Gold Fury started up. We'll see if they actually look to counter this. You see them looping around the backside of this fight right now. Feeling will drop down in the middle of this one as Nanton is caught up and locked down, pulled back in as well. Going to be able to get out. Good Stone Shield coming out from Elbert Chacha on that one, keep him alive. But will it be enough as Met Yankee will leap on in to find a kill? The first one of the fight. Gold Fury getting pulled, but Yomi forced to reset it again as Bolt picked up.
Yeah, goodbye, son. Jilly with the feelers back into the rest of the team. They're going to continue just boxing around looking for whatever they can find. It was El Chapeau, but now Grishank's looking to dive in and go for Unrelinquished. He's just portals across walls. He's ticking down, but he's not going to quite go down this time around. And Jilly is looking for Elbro Chacho. You may be a bro, but you ain't no Chacho this time around. And Chapu, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. The boxing to come through from Met Yankee takes him to 5 stacks on the passive, full up on the Dev Gauntlets, full up on the Ekaval. And now this is the time where Yomi can turn around and just go, hey, we actually want to get on towards this Gold Fury, and it's ours for the taking.
Yeah, Met Yankee does have a little lifesteal on. He'll be able to tank that up with that. Health bars are quite low. Serqet lurking nearby. Grishank could jump on in. If he can find the last breath on the right target, could potentially find some kills. Going in forward, looking for this possible steal, looking to force that reset as the camera wonks out with that last breath. Reset was successful, but they immediately pick it back up. Apollo's here, though. Hi Five will steal it away with the Across the Skies. They pay for it with their lives, but overall, Hi Five come out victorious in that engagement. At least as far as gold is concerned.
Yeah, but what's 5 power worth? That's another 5 power, and they're finished off fully stacked Met Yankee. And could this be? Well, there was a small window that they could do Fire Giant, but they needed Met Yankee.
With Elbert Chacho nearby, they wouldn't want to risk it because Blink Cataclysm, Blink Shockwave, Blink Cataclysm into the Wrath of the Gods would steal it away. TV gonna get caught up, locked down, flung back into the tower. Serqet protection dropped down. That is going to be a pick onto enemy support. Any possible consideration of a Fire Giant here in the next couple moments, now gone for at least 25 seconds. They're looking possibly to find a pick onto Kateki right here, but it's Batz. He'll somersault straight back away to safety. Almost avoided the tail whip. He's going to box around and likely leap over, and there he goes. He's now free and clear. Through space and time, going to be sailing across the map, just kind of delivering somebody to the party, not really able to set anything up in this particular instance.
Jilly's going to take some portals to try and get behind the opposition. He's looking at Elbow Chacho. He's also looking at Vulture. He's coming in to try and get behind that Vulture with the Wing Gust, but he's got that Spirit Ball and the Silence to dispel magic. That's important to keeping Jilly off him and getting him not backed in towards the team. The left-hand side mid-Harpy camp's going to go in favor of Xbalanque. So Hi Five, they're going to continue to make whatever they can out of every little engagement. XP currently level, but the gold difference, it's starting to swing their favor. It's out at 3K.
So items coming online. You mentioned that Xbalanque got that last 5 physical power to finally build up his passive to max. So Met Yankee is going to be hurting a good bit. He has that Ichival as well once the fight's underway. Branching Bolas being split across multiple people for extra AoE damage is always going to be nice. Is he top of the damage charts already? That's the question. He is. He's likely not to be dethroned from that spot either as this game continues because, well, let's face it, he's a hyper carry who is already at that hyper carry state, just the 18-minute mark in the game. H-Vol is online. The Executioner is not going to be too far off. And on the other side, Nanton's not necessarily having a bad game. He's a little bit further behind. The Heartseeker stacks needing to be rebuilt on the back of a couple deaths. Boots, Assy, it's not quite as much. And you look at the damage currently being dished up by these guys. 203, if I can click on him, to 215. Met Yankee's a little bit further ahead, despite what was just a couple minutes ago, a lead held by Nanton.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the gold that he's now in front. It's 600 gold. It's not a huge margin, but it's just enough to start ticking that game back in their favor. As soon as he finishes that Executioner up as well, he's got the Balance Blade online already. He's going to be able to start shredding through Elbow Chacho. He's going to turn on to El Chapu as well. Every one of these characters with a big O in their name, well, except for, you know, Nanton and Vulture, who have the big O's in their names as well. But here comes Elbow Chacho. He wants a little bit of something, but it's not going to be a Met Yankee Xbalanque, that's for sure.
No. As these fights go on and this game continues, though, it's going to be interesting to see how they play these out. Hi Fi is running a bit of a protect the 80 carry comp, if you will. Nanton's going to be dishing out a large part of the damage. Vulture's going to be able to set up plays, chunk health bars with the Spirit Ball as well. Serqet protection is not anything to write off either. But it's basically come down to Nanton. Once Vulture uses the abilities, that's kind of it. There's not really a lot of follow-up damage afterwards. Yeah, Isis has the attack chain and the AoE and the final hit of the chain. But it basically comes down to Nanton staying alive as long as possible and dishing out the hurt. If Nanton gets picked early or pulled in by a no escape when beads are forced out, their fights are really not going too favorably when you have that Met Yankee Xbalanque on the other side who's going to be ripping through people and doing more damage overall.
And able to split push. I mean, yeah, here he is. He's showing up mid. He's going to get a Stone Shield to at least get him out from underneath that tower. That was a risky place to be in because of that Fear No Evil. Xbalanque continuing to be the last one to rotate, but at least the Darkest of Nights. But Xbalanque's looking to try and find Met Yankee. He's got the ultimate down. He's trying to dart through him, but Xbalanque's going to get chained up. They're not quite going to be able to finish him off. Yes, they are. Met Yankee's going to land a little bit more damage, but now the focus on towards TV. Can they find the first kill of this fight? TV lives with a sliver. Jilly is now in the background. Unrelinquished finds Vulture, and that's a problem. This is going to be Yomi taking this fight for sure at this point in time. If they can just get a little bit more damage, that Lawbringer from Jilly, it's almost quite enough. Nanton, they're going to get on towards him with the unstable vortex. And what else can they find? Is it El Chapu? They've got a portal on top of him. Yeah, it's going to be him as well. Unrelinquished, huge double kill. And he's going to carry his team through that mid-game and that fight and into the Fire Giant. And Yomi, they turn things on their head.
We'll see. Can Yomi tank the Fire Giant this time around? Guilty last time around. We saw forced out utterly. Albert Chach with gun around the backside, looking to find a steal opportunity here. Rollout was already used. We come down to Gilly, finding a Fearless to avoid him getting in there. There's a Fear No Evil drop down as they came back online. Albert Chacho very, very low on health. Locked out the shackles. Can't roll out of that one. That's going to be a kill. Fire Giant reset for a decent bit of its health. If Gershank gets in the middle of this one. This is going to be absolutely devastating. They took too long to kill him. He's going to drop down to the poison, look for the kill onto Gilly. It's going to be a 1-for-1 kill overall. If they didn't accidentally lose aggro of the Fire Giant right there, they could have potentially continued it. But with that said, it dropped. It reset back up to full. And Gershank would have come in. It would have been multiple kills if they stuck around.
Well, at least they're going to buy that window for themselves, Hi Five, and then they're immediately going to run to the left-hand side of the map, find themselves a Gold Fury, so the gold, it's going to continue to maintain their lead, but look at the XP, Jordan. The XP and the gold tell two entirely different stories, two vastly different tales, and here comes the fight.
Yep, Non's on the back, half to running away very quickly through space, and will just barely misconnecting for that kill. He's going to be chased down, though, by Unrelinquished and Matt Yankee for another kill for that pair. They have to be careful. Hi Five, like I said, experience is nothing to ignore. When that level advantage starts to build little by little, it's going to set up problems so that you're more powerful, your abilities hit for more damage. You cannot disregard it. Yeah, you have a gold lead. It's kind of back and forth. Left side, Vulture, yeah, to get pulled in. Stone Shield gonna avoid that one as the teleport comes back in to join Gilly up in this fight, or LHP, excuse me. There's the last breath poison, gonna throw Matt Yankee back. Cataclysm looking to lock that down and kill him, and will do so.
Yeah,
Poison
and that's going to get the poison spread as well on towards Woo Woo. Can they burn through him? No, they're not going to be able to do that in time. TV's going to be a little bit of a focus, but there's no 80 carry here. This Gershank is what they're relying on, but he is so low if he rejoins this fight. That's a problem. The Lawbringer's going to come forward. They're still looking for Gershank. He lives a little while longer, but oh my god, look at the Stone Shield. Gershank is still trying to juke left, right, and center, and he's going to hop away once more, but a portal through El Japu will find TV, and now across the skies, this is going to be Apollo joining the team fight. Gilly still has not found Gershank as he ports through him one more time, and that means the Nonton is going to look for whatever he can. It's going to be Gilly once more. They serenade him up, and will they find Gilly? Yeah, El Chapu says, hey, you, get over here. You're my prey. I've charged you with dying, and you are going to be sold into slavery.
Yeah, messy team fights coming out for these guys so far. Neither team has really had a decisive victory so far. And every time they come back, it's like back and forth. Everyone has so many throws and displacements in this game as well. It's like people are flying all over the place. Like, do we want to just leave that person to die? No, let's try and save them. We go back in. It's like, oh, we have a puck now. We pull them back. It's like this big, long, messy, everyone's flying all over the place in the middle of a team fight kind of play at this point in time. But in the back of that one, who actually came out victorious? Look at that golden experience graph. It was, in fact, Hi Five winning that one out overall.
Man, and what about these fights? They're so extended. The important part to come through from Yomi in their last fight was that Nonton didn't join it until the last moment. If Nonton was there for such the extended duration of the fight that it lasted, they would have lost it, straight out. They had to pick off Nonton beforehand, and they've got to make sure that he's down, because if he's with the rest of his team, that's a problem, and they can't fight that.
Yeah, there's the whole finding Elbow Charge on the right side. The Fire Giant has not yet been started up. They're looking for the pick on the attack in the backside. Gershank giving chase on this one. He's going to be able to sneak back to the tower with the poison, not doing enough damage to actually find that kill. This could potentially start up a gold or Fire Giant, but they're looking for the bait right now. El Chapu going to pick up that mana buff that was successfully stolen away as Gershank cooldown's up and available. Looking for some damage on the Gilly, but not able to find it. You don't want to dive the tower too hard against a tier, because he will just kind of keep you under there and never let you get away.
Yeah, that's a problem that they can really struggle to deal with at this point in time. Nonton is just starting to burn through this Fire Giant, but Xbalanque left-hand side, burning through that tower. They've chosen to fight, but they've got to make it work. What can they find? A Spirit Ball and a Jilly means that he got locked up at the start of that one. Now they're looking for TV. Can they find Kateki? I'm not sure they can really find anything. Jilly's on towards Gershank, so at least he's forced to burn that ultimate, and the ultimate's going to go up and down from Apollo, so he can't stop that Xbalanque. He's already on towards that Phoenix. Nonton, first kill, finally picked up, but Xbalanque, look at this from Matt Yankee. He's picked up first Phoenix of the game, and he's going to get out of here totally unhindered. And now down comes the Fear No Evil. Titan under attack from Hi Five. They're looking to try and secure up a Fire Giant. They're going to burn through Woo Woo, and then they're going to turn on towards this one. They're going to find someone else. It's Jilly. They get the pluck on towards him, and it's now a 5v2. Surely they can pick this one up. They're going to go back on towards it, but this is a risk.
There's not much really that can be done to stop this right now. Yomi, if they've been able to disengage, they were trying to look for some follow-up damage. They're trying to make sure Hi Five weren't starting that Gold Fury, but they were getting picked off in the middle of that. With Gilly and Kateki getting picked up, that's a free Fire Giant. Yes, that the Phoenix pickup by Yankee was huge. Nanton survives. El Brochacho with a timely stone shield. He was one hit from death. The shot was halfway to him. The stone shield landed. Nanton had a half health bar, essentially, of damage to take before he fell and survived because
it was a
of
lick.
Yeah.
I'm sure he got tagged up by the poison darts right before that as well. So if he didn't land that stone shield right then, that was a dead Nanton, whether it was by the Rising Jaguar damage or whether it was by another lick of that poison damage coming through from the poison darts. It didn't matter. Man, the play-making support of El Brochacho. It may be a defensive play, but a play is a play.
Oh, for sure. That basically came down to Yomi not actually being able to regroup quick enough near that fire giant. Two people were going back to base, and it didn't matter. They were able to clean up 3v2. They found Kateki, they found Gilly, and that was kind of it. There was nobody left to stop them from taking that fire giant. Matt Yankee came in, kind of tail end of it, was looking to set up a big play. If they took that fire giant buff off of Nanton, that would actually have been a pretty big pickup, because the hunters rely on to actually do the damage to towers for the most part. The tier 1 tower would have still been given away, like we're not going to even think about it. It's 500 gold, not worth losing people over. Tier 2, without the hunter having that fire giant buff, could really have been a possible, you could seriously have considered defending any of those tier 2 towers that left standing. But with Nanton having that, there's really not much to commit to do. And as soon as they group up here, take the Gold Fury, start looking for these towers here. Left lane, there's 2 to take, so why not? And if you're pushing that left lane as a 5-man squad, the fire minions aren't actually doing anything for Yomi.
That's a smart decision as well, pushing that left-hand side lane. It's the one that they've got the least damage on any sort of structures in. So, most gold to be able to be picked up. Yeah, sure, you haven't got a single tower? Let's go get 2. Then let's turn on towards the Phoenix because we've got the Fire Giant. We're pushing into Fire Minions? No worries, Fire Giant will handle that.
So we'll see. Yomi gonna need to mount the defense here at some point in time against Hi Five. There's about 2 minutes left on that Fire Giant buff for Hi Five. All 5 members have it, so it's a lot of regen, a lot of extra stats, and a lot of extra damage to objectives. They're looking for plays. They're looking for the ambush setup. The Ultra gets clipped by the unstable vortex over the wall. Again, we at least now know at least one of you is sitting over there. So tier 1 left is taken. They're going to rotate over to mid lane. Why not catch Yomi out of position and take the tower for free? El Brochacho charging straight on in. Problem is, Nanton's a little bit further behind. You need your damage there to actually take a tower. That said, they arrive, and they're going for it now.
But this is the resistances. Look at that from El Brochacho. They're going to get the block. It's on towards Kadeki. They have to be careful because if Nanton can burn through him, the blink back into the rest of the team from El Brochacho. That's to try and save his carries. They're going to burst through TV before the no escape can go down and the ultimate's up in the sky. They're going to make sure that that is going to be an Apollo that is safe and sound here from Hi Five. He's going to come back in to help confirm the kills. That's 1 picked up, and he's got the moves to try and keep him out of here. Finally, Unrelinquished picks up Nanton, but it's a little bit too little, too late. They've burned through everyone but Matt Yankee and Unrelinquished. But this is the damage dealer. This is the trouble if they can keep Matt Yankee alive, and they can't. Now it's going to be Unrelinquished all alone, and Grishank, he's looking for kill number 2.
This is likely to be it. Flung away from his portal. He's not going to be able to do much else in the back of that one. I don't see this being a surrender right now. They're going to get the Phoenix. They might get another tower or 2, but the respawns are coming out from Yomi. Matt Yankee Unleashed is just unstoppable. We saw that 1 versus 3. Unrelinquished is in the middle of a 2, to be fair. But when he's actually able to get up in the thick of the team fight, he's shredding people apart at this point in the game. He's almost full build. The Rage is online. TV defending a little bit too much. That Phoenix is fell. He's going to fall as well. And make sure at least that with the respawns coming in, they're going to be forced back off this siege entirely. Fire Giant buff's about to fall off, so El Brochacho's health's not really going to be regenerating too much more. They lost a tower and a Phoenix. It's not the worst situation. They kind of clawed back a couple kills towards the end of it. It's still an overall gain for Hi Five. You look at the graph, it's still very much shooting up in their favor. But Yomi are still holding on to this one, showing signs of life and saying, you know, we're not done with this one yet. We didn't throw the F6 vote surrender vote out after a lost team fight. They're still hoping this game. It's only 10,000 gold. We want this game. We want this victory. We want to see ourselves get a first place victory for week 4.
And they can do it. They can honestly do it. So long as they just play these fights a lot better. Matt Yankee and Unrelinquished are throwing out the DPS and Sade on the backhand side. They need to make sure that they do not fight in that circle of protections from Bolter. If they can get that one down on the ground, delay it out, and run away from that one before they fight. Kadeki, though, he's not going to be lasting that long if this continues to go the way it is. He's not going to get through the portal. They're going to Cataclysm and lock him in place, and Bolter with the Spirit Ball to confirm it. That's just about curtains coming through for Yomi. Unless they can find something. Unrelinquished about to go down, and on the left-hand side of the map, the Apollo starts ulting over towards the right-hand side. He wants to get on towards Gilly. No, they're going to take Fire Giant number 2, and Hi Five looking to lock this one up with a second Fire Giant and then on towards the base. Smart decision making, unless they get full.
Yeah, someone that was watching Hi Five both games in a row so far. Dark Knights isn't going to get thrown down. We'll see if JAnus can make an absolutely huge play come out. Elchapoo's getting chunked alive right now. Use that charge fire to run away as soon as the shackles go off. The steel possibly coming out here. Titan is under attack right now. The Fire Giant was stolen as No Escape is pulling these guys back in. JAnus is shredding people right now. If they can find a couple kills, this is still anybody's game, but they also make sure they're not going to get picked off.
Well, Bruggen's going to come back in from Jilly. It's going towards Elbow Chacho as JAnus finds the number 1. Non-Ton to find TV on the backside. JAnus still alive, but it's only a sliver. He's got Grishank in his sights. Non-Ton's the next one, but Elchapoo is going to be the body blocker there for Non-Ton. It's only going to be Gilly left alive with the Fire Giant, but he can turn this one around. Non-Ton's just realized he's run into Jilly when he's got no mana bar left. This is dead Non-Ton, and that was just an unlucky mistake. They're going to find at least Elbow Chacho trying to get out of here. This could be trouble.
It is definitely going to be Fear No Evil drop down. Elbow Chacho Cataclysm trying to buy himself some time. Roll out unstable Vortex from the other side of the wall. Gets unrelinquished that kill. Yomi didn't give up the game when that first Fire Giant went down. They didn't give up when they lost that Phoenix in mid lane, and they are showing why. Elchapoo right now just trying to buy his team time. They're giving chase. There's really nothing to push up right now. Not much they can do. Unrelinquished needs a portal through the wall. That damage gonna chunk him big time, and that's going to be a kill. They chased us a little too far and lost another member of the team because of it. Yomi very much needed that Fire Giant fight. They need JAnus to be able to stay alive in these fights and do work, and the biggest problem is he's a late game hyper carry, but they just don't have that competition to fight him and just allow him to stay alive. They lack the peel. Gilly does great work, but he's busy zoning on other people, whereas you always have Elchapoo. It's like, JAnus, I found you. I'm going to be sticking to you. I'm going to be taking up those shots and being a menace and stopping you from doing what you want to do.
The trouble as well with the Xbalanque ultimates, right? They've been used to give vision to try and get on towards the Fire Giant. They're not being used in the middle of the fight. They're being used for the setup, to try and get them in range, to try and get them online for these sorts of things. If he can get that ultimate down mid-team fight where they're just team fighting, his ability to suddenly go huge is massively increased. Why? Because his range is massively increased. Duh, guys. Man, but with all those steroids online, there is... JAnus is definitely the carry that can win this game for his team.
Hey, he's sitting 11, 7, and 10 right now. They need to keep him alive, and he's been one of the last to fall in every single engagement. Elchapoo is looking for the pluck. If he finds JAnus, that will likely be the game if they get a quick pick at this position on the map.
Not just likely, that will be the game.
Yeah, no, that's the reality of the situation. The respawn times are approaching a minute long right now. Mid-Phoenix did respawn. I believe the Fire Minions have now there's one more wave of Fire Minions mid lane that Gilly is making short work of. There's a 5-man grouping by Hi Five. They want to answer back and push down this tower, tier 2. They want to get more gold in the bank. They want to get to the point where they don't have to worry about Yomi at all and just sweep over them in a fight. But Yomi are at that point in the game. They're just about online, and they just cannot be run through anymore.
Well, they're still looking for whatever they can find. Hi Five's trying to bait the split to come through from Yomi. Yomi looked into 2 different areas. It's going to be the Rising Jaguar Burn, and that's CC immunity that's now not online. Grishank, what can he find? They're trying to cluster in around towards this red buff, but it's not going to be anything. The chains are going to miss from TV, and Jordan take the fight from me.
They were just split up in this one. The initiation comes in. They were able to group up just in time. TV looking for the no escape, found a lot. Elbow Chacho's health bar is dropping rapidly, but he's the tank. Grishank finds number 2 onto Gilly as well. He's doing work in the back, but JAnus is not able to do enough in this one. He's forced to run away. Non-Ton secures the kill in the backside of that fight. And with that, it's only Unrelinquished left standing. That Phoenix in the mid lane already weakened. They don't care. There's still 2 towers, 2 Phoenixes standing. Hi Five have victory in their sights. And only 1 member standing in the way and no longer doing so. Game 2 going to be in the bag for Hi Five, taking first place for the second time this overall series as the Titan gradually, slowly but surely whittles its way down. That Yomi, it basically came down to the positioning around that left side tier 2 tower. They were split up. That could have gone actually much worse than it did. But when they recollapsed into that one, there was so much AoE damage. They were fighting on the circle of protection. The heal came up from that one. It just all kind of went downhill, even though they were actually luckily able to regroup on the end of that fight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to say it. We have our first two lock-ins from the NA region that are going to your Challenger Cup round robin stage. It is going to be Hi Five and Resist Gaming. They won the third place playoff. They've locked themselves seats. But I tell you what, this NA Summer Challenger Cup Week 4 has just been insane. This is some of the best plays. This is what we were starting to expect. These teams are incredibly close. And North America is catching up to Europe.
Oh yeah.
And it's not slowly, it's coming in leaps and bounds.
Looking at the brackets into week 1, EU was like, oh my god, I would not want to be fighting in this tournament because there are probably like 12, 13 teams who are the caliber who I expect to see in that round of eight. The group stage round robins. That's what I was trying to get to. There was way more than 8 teams. And it's like, I looked at Resist Gaming, Hi Five did well last time. It's like a handful of teams. Then it was like week 1, it's like, yeah, it's kind of what I expected. And week 2 came, 1 or 2 teams like upset. It's like every one of these teams who has taken first place has been knocked out in an early round at least once. So it's NA is so competitive because you have like Magic Eyes Gaming. They're what, 18th seed? They're running up against, just down to seeding numbers. They could have been fighting in the finals here today as well. Noble Esports. There's so many teams in North America that have come out. It's like I have been so surprised at the overall performance coming out from these the NA teams that I am glad it's happening. We saw a good game after good game today. Even this last one, Yomi, they didn't win either game in the finals. They were not stumps. They were making plays. They were not giving up. They were showing, we still want this win. We're behind. We'll make that play. TV got the steal on that Fire Giant, a very much needed one. Things went wrong. These are all games they can go back and look at and say, okay, let's go analyze these games. Where did we make mistakes? How do we look to improve going forward? Still a week of open bracket play. We can get more practice in on that. We still need to get those seeding points, get those extra gems and all that fun stuff, and then get more practice ahead of the group stages, which is where it's really going to start to get serious.
Oh, I tell you what, this is just gearing up for some insane group stages, but guess what? There's even more action coming your way tomorrow. This is only the Summer Challenger NA Cup.
Yeah.
Week number 4. Tomorrow we've got the European Cup. You heard us just going on about it. Those matchups are going to get intense. The puppies. Who doesn't want to see the puppies go huge? Spicy Waffles went absolutely insane last week. Six Sigma, Elo Fishes, Team Bazaar, Myrmidons, Team Illusion, Lazy Unicorn, Silver Elite, Moonman. There are so many teams tomorrow that are going to be competing for those slots. There is 2 weeks of European gameplay left. There's only 1 week of North American gameplay left because now week number 4 for those guys is done.
Yep.
Man, if you're not choosing in tomorrow, you're absolutely crazy. If you tuned in to support a team today, go to esports.smitegame.com/Challenger Cup. Look at the EU standings. Pick a team. Show up tomorrow. Show your support for them in the Twitch chat, and I want to see you all there.
Yeah, that'll all be kicking off tomorrow morning, guys. 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m., 1500 hours for you 24-hour time folks over there, and that will be CEST. So make sure to stop in and tune in for that one. Hope to see you guys again tomorrow. That's going to wrap things up for today. Thanks to the backroom staff for keeping things running smoothly today. They put up with our nonsense on the front side of things, and it's like, they're just constantly face-palming at our shenanigans live. I'll thank my co-caster, Ranconius, once again joining us all the way from Australia. It's some ungodly hour of the morning from him. And of course, thank you guys, the viewers, for tuning on in today. Hope to see you guys again tomorrow. So for my co-caster and hi-rez studios, have a great day.